Straight ahead on 12 News, it's a growing crime, but see why police are increasingly not investigating it. Then, a New Hope woman who helps police crack a large drug case. But first,
not a fight of Golden Valley against the world.
Why the future of light rail in the Northwest Metro is now up to the city of Golden Valley. 12 News starts right now. It is deja vu all over again for the Golden Valley City Council.
The city once again faces a vote on a proposed light rail line through Worth Park and the eastern portion of the city. Golden Valley remains the only city yet to approve the project, and it's unlikely that planning would proceed unless Golden Valley gives preliminary approval. Reporter Shannon Slatton is live in Golden Valley with more on residents' concerns.
Decades from now, a light rail line running from Brooklyn Park right through this area could be your fastest way to get into downtown Minneapolis at rush hour. That thought has some Golden Valley residents very happy and other residents anything but. Standing room only.
Do we need or want a connection to the light rail?
The passionate use their powers of persuasion.
Please don't pave paradise by putting up a parking lot.
For more than 2 hours Wednesday night.
It's much faster, much more efficient.
Each voice trying to influence a close city council vote.
If the bulk of the people have support not going forward with the light rail in Golden Valley, any of the council members that support it should be voted out of office.
The majority of the more than 40 people who spoke up were against the proposed path.
It's not how you're asking the question. The answer is still no.
Most cited concerns over the route through the parks.
They have the whistles blowing and the noise and the train clanking every 7 minutes. How will that impact the golf game?
And impacting the natural habitat.
I'm very suspicious of the traffic coming, the noise coming, the dirt and pollution coming.
The City Council will have to ask itself, at what price is it willing to give away a very scarce resource? The peace, the quiet, the beauty of the Mary Hills Nature Center.
Others question the choice of stops and the overall need.
You'll have a station on Golden Valley Road that no Golden Valley residents will use. The station on Golden Valley Road is closer to downtown Minneapolis than it is to downtown Golden Valley.
A quiet, strong number of people stood for the project.
Golden Valley will be making a historic mistake by turning away this light rail system right now.
Saying it's a benefit for commuters.
This is not a bad thing, this is a good thing. And if we don't get it now, this community will not be part of that opportunity.
And the route would be good for business.
We have an opportunity to get on board with light rail in this area, not just for Golden Valley, for the whole northwestern suburbs.
Most urge the council to carefully consider this vote, warning it could influence the entire project.
You're our firewall. You're our protection against, people coming in from the outside telling us how the city should be run, how it should be developed.
I want to see this looked at as a regional issue and not a fight of Golden Valley against the world.
What happens next? The council will vote on December 18th. If they vote in favor of it, that clears the way for future plans and future studies, but it doesn't necessarily give a green light to the entire project. If the council votes no, then Hennepin County and the Metropolitan Council go back to the drawing board to draw up new plans for a route that may or may not go through Golden Valley. Live in Golden Valley, Shannon Slatton, 12 News.
All right, thank you, Shannon. New Hope is joining a growing list of cities that no longer investigates gas drive-offs. Police tell Renee Bonneau how the decision could actually save money for the city and station owners.
How are you doing?
Oh, good. How are you?
I'm doing good.
Since 1976, the Winnetka Marathon in New Hope has offered much more than a fill-up.
How are you doing today?
I'm doing fine. Owner Pam Showalter says customer service keeps her regulars coming back.
Gas is the same thing everywhere, isn't it? But I come in here to see the lady behind the counter.
Perks like letting people pay after they pump, but her kindness comes at a cost. She says she's had about 50 drive-offs so far this year.
If we can get their driver's license number, then we call the police, and the police call up the person and let them know that they drove off, and then usually they come back and pay it back.
That's a service New Hope police say they can't continue.
Being a collection agent for a private business is not the role of the police department, but that's really what we found ourselves doing.
Earlier this month, the department decided it'll no longer investigate gas thefts as a criminal case.
The savings is equivalent to putting a full-time police officer on the street an extra 6 weeks out of the year.
Now retailers must pursue the case as a civil matter. A new state law that took effect in August gives gas station owners the right to require a non-paying customer to pay the stolen amount plus a $30 service charge. I've spoken with several police departments and gas station owners on this issue, and a lot of them say the best way to avoid dealing with gas drive-offs is to make your gas station prepay. Winnetka Marathon is one of about 3 gas stations in the city that doesn't require prepayment. While Showalter says she could lose as much as $600 a year in drive-offs, it's still not enough to make her change her payment policy.
You'd lose more customers that would be upset that you're prepaid than it would help out.
In New Hope, Renee Bonneau, 12 News.
New Hope police say they will still respond to 911 calls of gas drive-offs in progress. They just won't look into cases that are hours or days old. A New Hope woman is being honored for her help in bringing down a meth ring.
Hennepin County prosecutors say Shia Bader's work at Wells Fargo Bank helped convict more than a dozen people so far.
We're safer today. There are major drug dealers off the streets as the result of their work.
Bader received a Community Leadership Award from the County Attorney's Office for helping track down names and pictures behind a series of deposits into one defendant's bank account. It led to guilty pleas and convictions, including Pedro Ayala Leyva, who was convicted last month. The case involves smuggling meth from California to a stash house in Brooklyn Park.
All they had was some receipts, and they didn't know whose they were, what happened, where they came from. So I figured out basically whose accounts they were and what were the transactions that happened, and that's how they uncovered the ring, I guess.
Bader says it's nice to have her hard work pay off in such a big way. Police recovered 18 pounds of meth and tens of thousands of dollars in cash in that case.
An asset to the community. Those words from a Golden Valley Planning Commission on a proposed apartment complex. The project would redevelop an area of Golden Valley along Highway 55 where an empty bowling alley now sits. A developer wants to build a 6-story apartment complex called the Tiburon. It's a higher-end project that would include such amenities as an outdoor pool, a putting green, and a bocce ball court. The Planning Commission recommends approval. The project will come up for a final vote before the Golden Valley City Council on December 18th. Meanwhile, to the south in Golden Valley, another high-end apartment proposal is also taking shape. A 6-story building is proposed along 394 next to the Colonnade office tower. Original plans at this space had called for a hotel, but market demand shifted that to apartments. If approved, construction could begin in the spring. And there was concern whether Golden Valley would be oversaturated with apartments, but Planning Director Mark Grimes says that is not the case. He points to Met Council estimates that show Golden Valley growing by 4,000 people by the year 2020.
Minnesota's unemployment rate of 5.8% may be well below the national rate, but today in Brooklyn Park there was a clear reminder of just how many people are still out there looking for work.
Keep on trying to stay positive and keep getting those resumes out. You can't catch fish if you don't have a line in the water. So keep putting the lines in the water. That's what I'm doing.
Hundreds of job seekers packed a career fair hosted by Minnesota's Department of Employment and Economic Development. Those looking for work had the opportunity to talk with prospective employers and also attend seminars on how to use social media sites like LinkedIn to land a job and pursue networking opportunities.
Find those companies that you're passionate about, that you want to work for, and do that networking to find that job that you might not find posted online.
And in Minnesota, jobs in demand right now include those in health services like nurses and home health aides, as well as manufacturing, construction, and computer IT. Coming up, a 16-year-old who is dealing with an adult-sized challenge. Find out why this student's success in the classroom is all the more impressive.
And later in sports, the Park Center boys basketball team readies itself for a big season.
But first, we'll check on the AccuWeather forecast.
High school students have no shortage of things to distract them from what's going on in the classroom.
Things like sports, jobs, and extracurricular activities are some of the more common distractions. But today's standout student from Champlin Park High School has another set of challenges to deal with. yet he still manages to excel in the classroom. Here's Delane Cleveland with the story.
I'm Ian Watson.
It's presentation day in this advanced English class.
Restrictions affect the consumer.
And Ian Watson uses his allotted time to break down an article about companies and the restrictions they put on product ownership. It's a heavy topic, but a homemade video lightens up his audience of peers.
Ian is a dream come true. He is a delightful young man. He is very personable and warm and funny and goofy and smart.
We could just have
high praise from the school's international baccalaureate coordinator, who can't say enough good things about the 16-year-old junior.
There's no question that he is a gifted student.
A gifted student who's taking the most rigorous honors courses offered at Champlin Park.
Yeah, I just like to have a more challenging class that I can participate in. To ethos.
Yet the biggest challenge in Ian's life isn't what's happening inside the classroom.
So I was diagnosed with neuroblastoma, cancer, in May. And so I've been going through treatment for that since May.
Treatment that's taken him through 8 cycles of chemotherapy since that day last spring when doctors found the cancerous tumor in his abdomen.
It's been hard, but I think I'm doing pretty well. A real life situation.
Ian still has more treatments and plenty of hours of homework ahead of him, but the support he has from family and friends have helped him keep a positive outlook on life.
Staying positive is just kind of the best way to go through life, and because if you're always thinking negative, that's just going to hurt you more.
In Brooklyn Park, Delane Cleveland, 12 News.
Next for Ian is a stem cell transplant combined with a high dose of intense chemotherapy. He expects to be hospitalized for the next 3 to 6 weeks. Of course, we all wish him the best. Coming up, a game of basketball with an interesting law-abiding twist.
But first in sports, as December closes in, some of the top local performers in the month of November are recognized. Jay Wilcox is in next.
Jay Wilcox with sports. The basketball season just around the corner, and of course everybody hopes to get off to a good start.
Yeah, we've got a lot of good boys teams in the area, and one that's definitely going to be on the radar, Park Center, this year. Boys basketball teams in the area are tuning up for the season, and one team aiming for very big things, Park Center. The Pirates have the pieces in place for a good run.
The word the last couple of seasons was watch for Park Center in the future. Well, the future is here. 5 starters returning from a runner-up team in the Northwest Suburban Conference means high hopes.
I'm really excited. It's going to be a really good year. We added a couple pieces, and it's going to be an incredible year this year.
We're really excited for the season. You know, we're planning to do big things. We've been planning it since we were young, and now we're finally trying to accomplish it.
The Pirates are led by last year's conference scoring leader and North Dakota signee Quinton Hooker, but there's plenty of talent to go around. Creighton Daniels is another very good player, with Isaiah McKay and the Matthews brothers, Joshua and Isaac, also back. Devin Buckley moves over from Prairie Seeds, where he scored 18 a game for a team that made the state tournament. The Pirates know they won't surprise anyone this year.
It's a lot better, I think. Knowing teams are out there preparing for you instead of you having to prepare for them is definitely a great thing. You come out there with a little bit more confidence and a little bit more power and aggression.
We can't surprise anybody anymore, and that's what we were just talking about the guys with earlier, that you're not going to be surprised anymore. You're not going to sneak up on anybody. So you're going to have to come in night and night out and perform. And if you don't, then you're going to get knocked off.
Park Center boys basketball last won a conference title in the 2002-2003 season when they shared the Northwest Suburban crown with Osseo. Winning it this year is the opening goal for the season.
I think you have to set goals. And I said that's been one of their goals since we've got here. So I think that's a good thing for them to shoot for, because we have to have something to kind of look forward to.
Buckle up, it's going to be a fun winter in Pirate Land.
The Pirates face Brooklyn Center in their season opener on Friday night. Well, the Prep Bowl over Thanksgiving weekend marked the official end of the fall sports season, but before closing the book, we take a look back at a few of our best athletes from the month of November. Here's Jason Malillo.
The Wayzata girls cross-country team won the state team title thanks in large part to Anna French. The Trojan sophomore is small in stature, but she runs big. French finished in second place overall at the state meet, pushing Wayzata to its first ever team title in girls cross country.
What stops anybody from improving is having a ceiling or having a perceptive ceiling of what they can do. And she never questions her ceiling. It's always a ceiling that keeps getting pushed upward, and she doesn't put any obstacles in front of her. I think that's the best way to describe her, is she just keeps like, okay, I run this many miles a week. Hey, I can do more than that, you know, down the road, or I can go faster in these workouts, you know, and she's the little engine that says she can.
The Totino Grace football team wrapped the Prep Bowl by winning its 9th state title. The Eagles racked up 49 points on Owatonna, including 2 touchdown passes by A.J. LaPanta to Charlie Miller. LaPanta and Miller are seniors and best friends, and winning the state title together was the perfect way to cap their high school football careers.
They've really come up big, not only tonight, but they've really just sort of, yeah, something special happened during the playoffs, because they've had an incredible playoff together.
We're best friends. I mean, it's awesome. I spend like every 24 hours together with them. I mean, growing up, it's bittersweet, but growing up 6th, 7th, 8th grade, we were all playing on teams together. Yeah. To do this, it's awesome. No better feeling.
So there it is, 3 athletes who feasted on the competition in November. Jason Malillo, 12 Sports.
Anna French and Charlie Miller both play winter sports for their respective schools. French is on the Trojans Nordic ski team, and Miller plays hockey for the Eagles. And tonight, Thursday on Channel 12, tune in for live coverage of high school girls basketball as Wayzata, coming off a 23-6 season, hosts Lakeville South. The Trojans are 1-0 this year. The Cougars are 2-0. Coverage tips off tonight at 7 on Channel 12, and you can watch the replays Friday night at 8:30 and 11. And another award for Bridge Tussler of Osseo football, named Gatorade USA Today Player of the Year in Minnesota.
All right, not bad.
That's right.
Thanks a lot, Jay.
You're welcome.
Still had a basketball game where it's probably best that you don't break the rules.
We'll explain coming up next.
And finally, do Brooklyn Park and Brooklyn Center Police got game?
We will find out on Friday night. Police officers from Brooklyn Park and Brooklyn Center will volunteer their time to hoop it up against area youth. They will play during halftime of the boys' basketball game Friday night between Park Center and Brooklyn Center and Park Center High School. A portion of the proceeds raised at the event go to Brooklyn's teen food shelf. And, you know, I guess they do keep score, but maybe, you know, it's a friendly game. I'm sure they have a good time.
And like you said, they have the advantage of handcuffs,
yeah,
right?
The one team has handcuffs, but that's not a problem. That's it for now. Thanks for joining us, everyone.
Community Corner is coming up next.